People's Partners for Community Development is a native CDFI networking organization, and we provide financial services to primarily the Northern Cheyenne community. About 99% of our clients are Native American, and most of them are enrolled Northern Cheyenne.
And so 2004, it became a 501c3 nonprofit, but then it kind of went stagnant for a while. There was just no employees or anything like that. And around 2009, 2010, somewhere in there, Barbara hired Sharon Small to start getting things rolling. And so one of the first things that she did was get a grant that was individual development accounts or savings accounts. PPCD, one of the main goals was to become a native CDFI, Community Financial Development Institution. At the time, we were housed at Chief Dunlap College. That's where Sharon and I's office were. And the college actually gave us $10,000 to start our loan fund. At first, it was just Sharon and I. We had a pretty good board at that time who had just kind of wanted to get things going again with PPCD. So the main person behind that was Barbara Braided Hair, and she was one of the founding members of the grassroots organization, I guess, that kind of created PPCD back in 1999. She knew the value of, like beadwork and artifacts, stuff like that, so she felt comfortable loaning to people with, that as collateral. But First Interstate Bank, they started growing quite a bit. They went from a private, family-run bank to a public bank. So that changed their lending practices, and they had more strict guidelines that they had to follow. Whereas before, they could kind of, being a private bank, they could, make up their own lending practices. But, Barb, she would come to board meetings and just kind of be in tears and stuff because she wasn't able to serve her people like she was in the past.
Our primary focus is to provide products and services to the Northern Cheyenne community, and providing them with products and services that they don't receive off the reservation or on the reservation. So an example would be credit builder loans, credit repair loans, helping people establish credit so they can become financially fit or become bankable. We actually report those to TransUnion and Experian. So like I just met with a client yesterday, just over the last year, his credit has gone up 100 points because of People's Partners for Community Development. PPCD is really unique because we come from a grassroots approach. So we identify the gaps that are in the community, what the need is, and COVID really brought a lot of that out as far as how are we really going to become self-sufficient and sustainable. How are we going to be able to take care of ourselves and our people?
Mostly what I like to focus on is housing and food for our people. I feel it's important that we have safe, sustainable food and housing for the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, something we're really lacking right now, and I hope that through some of the programs that we're able to participate in, that we will be able to bring some change to our communities.
So we were able to identify that we own 98% of our own land here on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. We were able to identify that if we were to keep a third of our beef here locally, we would be able to feed our people.
That's something that a bunch of us are working on, is trying to get more of a centralized network where Fort Belknap has 1,000 buffalo. The Flathead cherries, can we have some kind of a hub where we can transport them from one place to the other and feed everybody? The Northern Cheyenne Reservation's 450,000 acres. We have enough water that we can irrigate over 13,000 acres of that. So we can be a lot more self-sustainable if we develop some of our own resources that we have. We have buffalo, we have beef, we have the land, we just need to develop it, and hopefully PPCD can help with bringing some of that to fruition.
Looked into the opportunity of opening a mobile beef processing unit and taking in our own beef here locally, Northern Cheyenne beef.
And even us as ranchers, being able to go somewhere with our beef being able to process it locally, being able to drive 10, 20 miles to get your beef and get it back. That was huge. And then we shopped really hard to do the retail meat, you know, and really finding somebody to provide us a really good product. And we were really fortunate enough that our food supplier, AFS, is hooked in with some really good producers to provide that meat. And I don't know how many compliments we've had on how good our meat is, how good our steaks are. And these are for some pretty good meat eaters, you know, in that area that been ranchers their whole life, and they're like, no, this is where we want to go. This is where our beef's at. This is good beef. So we've been really fortunate that way also to be able to provide that really good service for them.
Then after we opened up the butcher shop and the mobile beef processing unit, with the building that we were in, it's like, why not do a grocery store? That's a big need, or fresh produce. And my big dream was always, you know, how do we provide fresh produce here? You know, corn and potatoes and just the real basic food source that we can grow here. It will also expand our services, farming services, to our ranchers, who are big players in our Northern Cheyenne communities. Our Northern Cheyenne ranchers provide jobs, and it's a way of life here for them. So it's important to take care of those people, our people. About 6 years ago, we started working on a chartering process for the Morningstar Federal Credit Union, which the charter was just approved and signed. That's going to be a huge asset to the Northern Cheyenne community, Rosebud and Bighorn County, our neighboring community, the Crow tribe. So we're super excited about that. We'll be able to provide home loans and larger operating loans to our agriculture producers, and beginning loans for people that want to start businesses.
So I'd like to say both thank you and congratulations. This is really exciting. I know there's been a ton of work behind this, and just really look forward to seeing you flourish. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. This is very exciting.
What sparked them to want to get a radio station? And she said it's kind of a need, because what got it going was we had that fire here, and it knocked down power lines, knocked the power out for days, and no one knew what was going on. There was no internet. There was just nothing. I mean, people were starting to get back on internet here and there. There was places where you could get internet or radio, but there's no power at all. So she just figured once you get a radio tower up, that it'd be a good way of getting communication out there.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Sharon, that she listens to her people, and she figures out a way to do it. We don't always know what we're doing when we start, but we're going to get it done. And we really need to listen to our elders as Lame Deer used to be a really nice place. Listen to our elders. What happened? Where did we go wrong? How do we bring it back? And then educate our youth so that they can help move that forward as well. And I think we're doing a lot of that with the Morningstar Federal Credit Union, just some of the other things PPCD does, radio station, grocery stores. To be a part of PPCD, you have to put our people first. And I think that's what a lot of us are. We're here for our people, not for ourselves. And hopefully we can carry that as we go forward.
And that's one thing I enjoy about this job, is we get it done. And it's not just one person, it's everybody. It's a really good group of people where everybody has that good outlook for the better of PPCD.
It really could be an endless deal too. I mean, who knows where it's going to end up. It's just how I guess where we want to end up and how much we want to put into it and where we want to go with it. Hopefully sky's the limit with it, because really it's busy now, and I think we could be as busy as we want to be.
I think the variety of different ways we serve that makes it doesn't make it boring, that's for sure,
In the long run, I see us as thriving. Like, I see businesses happening, I see homes being built, I see our operators maxing out. Our max out is 600 head per operator. That's all going to generate income here locally. So it's just going to take us to another level, and it's really going to show our next generation, what the possibilities are.
We're encouraging you to help yourself, but we're going to help you while you help yourself.
I'll be the one that you need through the love and tragedy.